Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. Just to set the context of the first story, know that the original post was written 5 years ago. This post is from the subreddit entitled Parents, and it's by user My Mom is Entitled. Entitled Mom is forcing me to marry my cousin to make her a US citizen. I was going to post this on my main account before I came to my senses. This isn't really a throwaway, but more an account I'll use to share stories of my entitled family. Mom. Before you call BS and start joking around saying Sweet Home Alabama, 1. Believe me, I wish this was BS, but unfortunately, it's an actual situation I'm facing. 2. We are Dominican, don't know if that changes anything. And 3. I hate that song. I'm 20 and male, my cousin is 19 and female. Spanish was my first language. So, I have a third cousin in the Dominican Republic. They are not well off in that country and her mom is a little neglectful. At this point it feels like my mom cares more about her than me, but whatever. She deserves it. She's a good kid who does well in school and wants to move to the US to go to nursing school. She can't, however, because she isn't a legal citizen. My mom decided that it would be the best plan for me to go to the Dominican Republic in June or July and marry my third cousin, to make her legal. She brought this up a few years ago, but I thought she was joking. Apparently she wasn't, because recently she brought this plan up again, but she actually was talking about how she already booked flights for the Dominican Republic and crap. What the F? I'm in a relationship already and my mom literally told me she doesn't give an F about my personal life. All she cares about is going to the Dominican Republic and forcing me to marry my cousin. Thankfully, I talked about the plan with my significant other and they are supportive. Due to the pandemic and not knowing if it's going to get worse, I think it's safe to say we are not flying out there, but my mom, for some reason, still acts like we're still going. Basically, I marry her and stay married for a year, then we divorce amicably. My mom pockets any money that's made from this, if any, and when I try to refuse this downright, this was met with screaming, physical anger, and threats to kick me out. I'm afraid to go to any family members because I don't know what's going to happen. OP, this is a horrible situation. What your mom is proposing, forcing you into a fraudulent marriage, especially with a family member, is illegal and deeply abusive. It doesn't matter if she's booked flights or she doesn't care about your personal life, you have a right to your own future, your own relationships, and your own legal safety. OP, this isn't just family drama, it's coercion and fraud. If I was you, the first thing I'd do is protect myself emotionally, legally, and physically. Then make it clear, and if your mom doesn't want to hear it, that's her problem, but you will not marry anyone under pressure or for papers. And start preparing a backup plan, housing, finances, documents in case this escalates and you need to run. And also try to expand your support network if you don't think any family member might help you out, maybe some friends or family of friends. Just remember that you are not obligated to wreck your life to fix someone else's problems. This isn't love, OP, it's control and you deserve better. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Orion says, lol, well, that won't work. She will have to wait 3 years before becoming legal. Also, there are the fees. Family sponsorship, $535. Green card application form, $1,140. The practice of obtaining residency through marriage is illegal in the United States if the marriage itself is fraudulent. Togar Sucks says, you need to get away from your mother immediately. Being forced into marriage against your will is never okay. Your mother also does not know what she is talking about. This will take much longer than a year. Green card marriages require regular check-ins to confirm the marriage is real. So say goodbye to your current significant other for the duration, and any immigration is quite expensive. She will pocket any money made off of this situation? How is she expecting to make money? You understand that if somehow she does, technically it will make your mother a human trafficker. I want to stress again how much you need to get away. There is the terrible and controlling behavior of forcing you to marry, as well as pushing you into a scheme that could result in serious jail time for those involved and drastically harm the chances of your cousin being able to immigrate in the future. On a sarcastic note, what's your mother's marriage status? Why doesn't she marry the cousin herself? Bia Hare says, yeah, none of that is legal. And if she wants to go to nursing school, there are a ton of legal routes for her to go to get a visa and all her paperwork in order as a foreign student. And Mbiz05 says, do not do this. It is a felony. You can get jail time. It probably will not work anyways. They will speak to people around you, to your neighbors, friends, etc. If a single person says that you're already in a different relationship, you're screwed. The cousin gets deported instantly and you get jail time. They will ask you questions about each other. There is an extensive process to prevent this stuff. The process also takes a long time. I know people who it took 3 years just to get into the US for a legitimate marriage. And if they have suspicions, it will take much longer, and you can't date anyone during that time or else they revoke the application. Well, the community agrees that OP should definitely not do this and get away as far as possible. Now, unfortunately, OP did not reply to any comments, but as we said in the beginning, we have the update 5 years after the original post. So let's move on with that to see how this story ends. It's been 5 years since I made this post, and honestly, I was never planning on updating and I forgot about the account. The original post is still up on my profile, but to give a quick summary, my mom has always been abusive both physically and mentally and has always been very controlling of my life despite me becoming an adult. Things reached a point that I never thought it would when my mom tried to force me to go to the Dominican Republic to marry my cousin so that we could bring her back to the United States so that she could start nursing school. I logged into this account to see people messaging me for an update and people making up theories, lol. Some said I died, others said I married the cousin and got into legal trouble, etc. If I wrote in detail what has happened in the last years, then this post would be 1,000,000 characters long, so here is the short version. First, I broke up with the girlfriend I was dating in the first story after I found out she was cheating on me. I never ended up marrying the cousin because I avoided renewing my passport, and my mom found another person in the US that she was going to try to force me to marry, and that fell through as well. I ended up summoning the strength to start standing up to my mom, and she kicked me out of the house summer of 2021. I then moved in with another family member and I turned to drugs and alcohol to help me cope, and I overdosed in December of 2021 at age 21, but thankfully I survived. Me and my mom reconciled January of 2022 because of her entering counseling and my OD. I ended up moving back in with my mother so that she could care for me while I got better, and she ended up having another freakout and kicked me out again August of 2022. I ended up having to move to a different state with a Discord friend because my mom physically attacked me. I left all my possessions and everything I knew and loved behind, and I was utterly miserable in this new state. No money to my name, and I went days at a time without eating and tried to take my own life. I survived and started working my ass off and found a job. I then found another unhealthy vice and started my hookups phase in this new state and ended up dating someone who turned out to be the second most toxic woman imaginable, and I'm also a dumbass who doesn't seem to be able to learn their lesson. I moved in with my mother yet again in January of 2023. But this time, things actually seemed to go fairly normal for a while, since my mom realized she could use me for money, and I let her cause I was a sucker. I started a career and started making money. I broke up with my now long-distance girlfriend, and after the breakup, she accused me of cheating on her, but turns out she's the one that was cheating. I swore off relationships for good and got close to a girl that also swore off relationships for good. And yep, we ended up dating, lol. We celebrated our 1-year anniversary, and after yet another freakout by my mom in January of 2025, because my girlfriend gave me the reality check to stop letting her use me and my girlfriend made the plans to move in together, and as of April 2025, me and her are now living together, and I am 800 miles away from my mother and barely call her. Me and my mom are cordial because I still want contact with my little sister, but I only call my mom on my terms, and anytime she starts acting entitled to me, I cut her off and threatened to go no contact. I'm now living a peaceful life that I never thought I'd be living before. I'm living with the love of my life and I'm planning on proposing to her soon. I'm being flown all over the country thanks to my career, and my partner's family have basically taken me in as one of their own. I want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who read and replied to my old post. You guys truly helped me put a lot of things to perspective, and it helped me realize what a messed up situation I was living in. I have tons of stories from events that have happened over the years and stories from my career as a touring musician, so let me know if you guys want to hear some. Feels kind of therapeutic writing these. Thank you guys. Well, P, I have to say, what you went through, wow, I am so sorry that you had to go through that because of your mom. It's a good thing you separated yourself from her because honestly, she is a bag of crap, minus the bag. And congratulations to you, OP. Just like Andy Dufresne, you went through a tunnel of crap and came out the other side clean. So here's wishing you the best, OP. Take care and thanks for sharing. And now let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user QuirkyWait7729. Am I the a-hole for buying my boyfriend flowers after he mentioned most men only get them when they die? Okay, so my boyfriend, 22 male, and I, 21 female, have been together for about 5 months, and it has been good so far. But about a week ago, when I was at his apartment, he told me that most men only receive flowers when they're dead. He then went on a bit of a rant about women not caring as much as men when it comes to their partners, and that men want shows of affection too. I honestly took this all as a hint that he wanted flowers. So yesterday I went to the Whole Foods and picked out all the flowers I thought he would like and put together a big bouquet for him. I also got him a coffee, some chocolates, and a few other things that I thought he would like. I've done things like this before, but minus the flowers. I usually put a Game Pass gift card or a Lego set, etc. I feel like this is important because I don't want anyone to think I don't show him affection or get him gifts. I definitely do. So I show up to his apartment with literally the biggest smile. I was so excited for his reaction, but when I gave him the flowers, he got a super uncomfortable look on his face and wouldn't touch or kiss me at all. I asked him what was wrong and if he liked the flowers, and he just kind of blew up at me saying that flowers are only for apologizing and that if I cheated on him, I needed to tell him right now. I was shocked and started crying because I have never and would never cheat on anyone. He took the flowers to the kitchen and threw them in the trash, which honestly felt like a huge punch in the gut. He told me to get out of his apartment and that he didn't have time for cheating bitches, his words. Every time I tried to explain, he said he didn't want my excuses, and when I'm ready to tell him who the man is, then I can talk to him then. But there is no man. I didn't cheat on him. I just thought he wanted flowers. I've never thought of flowers as just an apology. He's never gotten them for me, but I just thought he didn't like showing love that way, so I buy them for myself every week. I'm just so confused and hurt by his reaction, and I don't know what to do to fix the situation. So am I the a-hole for buying him flowers? Do women really only buy flowers as an apology? I'm so confused. OP, not the a-hole. You gave a thoughtful gift and he responded with rage, accusations, and insults. His behavior screams projection and emotional manipulation. This wasn't about flowers. Trust your gut. Something deeper is off. My opinion, he's the one that's cheating. He's gaslighting you, he's fake blame shifting, and is projecting the cheating on you. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Vadwar says, the hell? This dude is a major a-hole for sure. Certainly not the a-hole. I'd be over the moon to receive flowers, and this dude certainly sounded like he was asking for flowers without asking for them. This is either rage bait or your boyfriend is just a total jerk for sure and showing his true colors. Soapscum says, not the a-hole. There is literally zero possibility of anyone being the a-hole in this situation except him. The way he spoke to you is a warning about who he really is. Listen to it. Dump that loser. He very obviously is not very covert misogynistic and blames women for self-induced pitfalls. And Kalakmak says, I have never heard of women buying their partner flowers due to cheating. He apparently has serious anger and trust issues, and it's good that you found out, not the a-hole. And Wise Date 5357 says, not the a-hole. I think you know now the only reason he would ever have bought you flowers. Bullet dodged. Opie's Edit 1. I'm completely overwhelmed by the responses and everyone is making me realize that he's not worth my time at all. I tried to do something nice for him and he threw it back in my face. I texted him and told him we need to talk and his response was, finally ready to confess or what? So that tells me he's done no critical thinking on his end about the situation. We are meeting for lunch tomorrow and we'll update everyone after. Thank you everyone for the kind replies and for opening my eyes to what an a-hole this guy is. I'm just glad I didn't waste years of my time. Opie's Edit 2. I want to clarify a few things about my post. His parents gift each other flowers regularly, so he has seen flowers given to a partner for reasons other than cheating. His mother gifted him flowers for his college graduation, so he has received flowers previously and this is not the first time. Also, I have had a few people tell me it's weird of me to gift him things like the Lego sets, etc. that I mentioned in my post. He told me at the beginning of our relationship that his love language is gift giving and he loves receiving gifts. That is why I do it. I did not think it would come across as weird in any way. I only spend around $50 each time, which is nothing for me as I have a well-paying job. I was in a relationship for 2 years previously and I gave my partner monthly gifts throughout the entire relationship. So I'm in no way trying to love bomb him. I just always want my partner to know they are loved and appreciated. Opie's Edit 3. His mother is asking if she can call me. What should I do? His mother loves me and is honestly an angel. I don't know what he's told her about the situation. Should I be worried? Opie's Edit 4. I'm sorry for updating so many times. There's just a lot happening. I'm going to take Reddit's advice and take the call from his mother. I don't think she means any harm in calling me, but if it gets hostile at all, I will hang up. I am also considering canceling lunch tomorrow, but it partially depends on how this phone call goes. I've also had someone suggest just sending them both the link to the post, which I am considering. Everyone's opinions on that would be appreciated. I told his mother that she can call me this evening, so I will update after that as well. Okay, well, let's not waste any time and move on straight to the update. Alright guys, his mom called me and it was both him and his mom on the phone. I pretty quickly told him I wasn't willing to talk to both of them, but my ex-boyfriend was crying, like crying actual tears, so I listened. His mom told me he had been talking to her about us, and she wants him to talk to me with her support so he can tell me everything. He started it by telling me how he hasn't felt like I'm what he wants in a woman. I'm not willing to move in with him yet, and he's someone who only wants to date for 6 months before getting engaged, which he had not told me ever before, so this surprised me. This would mean he wants to be engaged next month, which is way too soon for me. He also told me that he has trauma around cheating because his high school girlfriend cheated on him in junior year and, you guessed it, apologized with a rose. Then he told me he wants someone who is less career focused and someone who wants to have kids and not work. He said he thinks some of my ideals and morals are skewed, but wouldn't tell me which ones or what he meant. He also told me he's realized I am a radical feminist, which I think is extreme because while yes, I am a feminist, I don't hate all men or think they're all bad. I never talk badly about them to him, and I have really given him no reason to think this aside from being pro-choice. He said he can't date someone who doesn't respect him and emasculates him. He said the flowers I gave him showed him that I viewed him as feminine and also showed that I was cheating. I told him again that I was not and had never cheated on him and asked if he had cheated on me before. He was quiet for, I kid you not, a full 2 minutes and then asked me to define cheating. I asked if he had slept with someone else and he said no. I asked why he mentioned the flowers if he thought flowers were emasculating, and he said it was more about the fact that men are treated, and I quote, more as slaves than human in our society. He said it was less about him wanting flowers and more about him feeling like women aren't owed flowers. That was enough explanation on where he was coming from for me. I told him our relationship was clearly over and we don't share the same ideals. He said he was willing to work on it if I would make changes to become wife material. I said no and hung up. So yeah, lunch is definitely cancelled and we're not together anymore. His mom didn't really say much other than that she would miss me and would always care about me. I know it all seems like it was best for me. I'm heartbroken and I didn't expect our relationship to end like this. He knew I wanted to work on my career, wait to have kids, etc. and always said he was fine with it. So it seems like he changed all of his expectations suddenly. I've been non-stop crying since the call and I don't know what to think. I feel so stupid for not seeing that he was like this sooner and I just wish I never dated him. But I hope that gives some closure to everyone and I appreciate everyone's help and kind words. Thank you everyone. Well OP, of course it's a sucky situation overall, but the good thing is that you've dodged a bullet and you can move on. So here's wishing you the best OP. Take care and thanks for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.